So our decision to terminate this national state of disaster is motivated by the fact that the number of measures that have been taken to achieve the objectives on relieving the impact have been able to assist in getting our systems and processes in place to ensure that government is ready to deal with the challenges as they pursue. So it was intended to ensure, as I had said earlier on, that measures are put in place to alleviate the impact, but also try to ensure that we implement what could be of ease for our members of society. The termination and the declaration will not halt the measures already taken and which are being taken to achieve the regulations and many other issues to ensure that government responds positively in ensuring there's constant supply of power.
The Minister of Electricity continues to execute and prosecute the responsibilities as determined by the President. From time to time, I think there's a revision of whether the instruments before us are necessary or sufficient to help us to respond adequately. And we have arrived at a determination where we are to say the actions, for an example, taken by a Minister of Communication, DTIC, as I respond to one of the questions I think Iskopano was raising. So those are not erased, so they remain in place because those are additional instruments that were made possible during the dispensation of the disaster. And therefore, as we discontinue, if you like, the state of disaster, they remain in place because we have found them to help us to sufficiently respond to the challenges going into the future.
When a state of disaster is declared, it is subject to continuous review and assessment by the ministry. Because you would know that, in fact, after it is classified as a disaster, subsequently declared as a disaster, the minister publishes a set of regulations related to the national state of disaster as declared and enables particular executive authorities or ministers to be able to issue directions in line with the national state of disaster, because you are empowering particular ministries to be able to execute particular responsibilities. Now let's look at where we are today. There's a new executive authority that's been established that's focused on electricity in particular and addressing the issues. So it's important to be in continuous engagements with that ministry to determine whether you need additional powers to be able to execute your responsibility. And the reality is, on the basis of that review, we have determined that you don't need extraordinary measures to be able to intervene.